who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On it. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 who you with, Kirk, dog. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm who you with, Kirk, dog. What's going on, everybody? Sorry about being late tonight, but like I tell y'all, we've been having prayer meetings with my family and friends, and you can't rush the Lord when He's working. So I appreciate everyone for coming on those prayer calls, because it gives me strength to keep moving forward. Man, welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is in the house. Y'all can live chat with us during the show. Today, we're going to talk about this Texas Rolling Blackout, because a lot of people I've talked to today that it's been affected by this blackout. Now, some people, they may lose power for an hour. Some people may be out of power for a couple of days. So during this time, definitely check with your friends, your loved ones, and make sure they still have power. Because I've talked to several people today, and especially if you have a small child, it's very hard. Welcome to the show, Angela Salerno, listening on Facebook. If you have a small child, it's really hard because the child don't know what's going on. Here it is, the power is out, and if a child get hungry, they ready to eat. And if you don't have a way to warm the ballers or anything like that, it's a little bit hard. So I want to know how y'all feel about it. You can call in 972-591-3665, 972-591-3665, or you can chat live with us in the chat room. And also, if you know certain part of the city that is offering places where people can come and get warm, because it's cold. I think now I've seen it get up to like 21 degrees today, and it's going to get worse tonight, because we're expecting up to 5 inches of snow and freezing rain tonight. So it's going to get even worse. So if you know someone, or if you're in a certain area that actually offers service where people can come there to get warm, let us know. Let us know, for we can be able to send the people to the right place, because this is a time where we all need to come together. Welcome to the show, T-Cal. Said, I know it's cold, and this don't make no sense. Not only are we in a pandemic, but there are elderly and young children without power. Yes, check on your neighbors, check on your family members, your friends, whoever. Check on them. And one of my biggest concern is I hear them on the news talking about if you are close to a hospital on the same grid as a hospital, you won't lose your power. But they are randomly cutting me powers off. First, they said it should be from 15 to 45 minutes. Then you turn around, it's longer than that. It's people that haven't had power since yesterday night or yesterday morning, and they're still without power. I heard some people say that they actually uh, they get power for about an hour, and then it goes back off for 7 or 8 hours. That's a long time. Now, some people say, "Oh, this is the first time I ever heard of that." No, during the summertime they do the same thing. You would think Texas have their stuff together to prevent these type of things, but apparently they don't, and we need to know why. Because think about it, they randomly killing power to the homes. They don't know if someone in there need that power, having to use a oxygen machine or a medical condition where they need it. You're putting all these lives at risk. And apparently they don't care because you don't know when or where this power may go off. That's why I didn't do the show last night, for the simple fact I didn't know if the power was going to go off. It went off Sunday. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait. And someone I was talking to today, and they said, hey, people need to talk about this. You need to talk about this because people need to be able to get this off their chest, because it's literally some people, they had power, went off yesterday, go off 7 8 hours, come back on. So I'm like, hey, um, TCal said it's already snowing in Frisco, and they're talking about up to 5 inches on this round. Um, oh, she said, I was wondering where you were. Yesterday, I just decided not to come on, did a replay for the simple fact that I did a replay, and I said it's best to do a replay instead of being in the middle of a show and the power go off. So if for some reason the power go off, they pick my neighborhood. Um, Welcome to the show, Radio Chaos. Can Greg Abbott handle any problem Texas has? Whew, I had to catch myself on that one. No, he can't. No, he cannot. Greg Abbott, he need to go. He is a poor leader, because when they first started talking about these storms coming in, he said that would be the best choice to do a rolling blackout. But now he's all against it. And let me explain the reason why. See, last night they had to cancel the hockey game. I think like 45 minutes before the puck dropped. They canceled the hockey game. See, now you're messing with folks that got money. So once you start messing with that, now you got to change your story. But you should have been coming up with this plan a long time ago. You've been in office long enough. You should have been concerned about this a long time ago. But here it is. You wait until it affect the money. So here it is. Now you want to say something about it. So Greg Abbott have to go. I've been saying that since I've been doing this show. He need to go because he don't care about us. He don't care. But now that it's affecting the hockey game, And he probably received a lot of calls about it. So now he's more concerned about it and want to get upset. And he talking about Dan, not Dan, uh, Ken the Gangster Paxton need to do something about it. Well, first of all, how can you have a gangster do anything about something that allegedly making money off of? Let's do something about his charges that is up. Let's do that. The best thing you could do is tell Ken Paxton he need to step down. Man, he have two charges. One of them 5 years ago. Get him out of office. Make him step down. But once again, you don't care about that. You're the same person that changed your executive order to benefit one little white woman. So yeah, he don't care. But when people with money start calling, talking about, hey, we're losing money about this, now you want to go against it. But you said this was the best thing. Texas could have came up with some plans long time ago to prevent this. Every summer, when we get up to 100 degrees, they start wanting to do these rolling blackout. Where is the solution? Rolling blackout is not the solution, because even in Texas heat, 100 degrees, and you're in a rolling blackout that could last anywhere from 15 minutes to all day long. And 100-degree weather, that's putting the residents at risk. Here it is, over 1 million homes, 1 million people is without electricity tonight in Texas. That's way too many. I've seen some of the posts that said, still without lights. We don't have lights. People reaching out to their loved ones and friends asking, hey, if somebody have room that could take me in, let me know. And then these coward hotels that want to price gouge and charge anywhere from $500 to $900 a night for a Motel 6. You out your mind, which is crazy. These hotels, after this is over, we need to boycott them. We need to put them out of business, because you don't need to be in our neighborhood and raising your hotel price in a crisis. If anything, you should be saying, look, let us work with you. But you're talking about anywhere from $500 to $900 a night for the Roach Motel? You out your damn mind. So yeah, we need to make sure we keep track of each one of these hotels and make them get out of our neighborhoods, because they not about us. Bad enough we're in a pandemic. Now you want to overcharge people because Texas don't have their stuff together and doing rolling blackouts, and you want to overcharge them in order to make money. That's crazy. That's very crazy. So yeah, we need to make sure. Welcome to the show, Christopher Coleman, watching on Facebook. We need to make sure these hotels that are doing these type of things, we need to hold them accountable, get them out of our neighborhood, and let them know we're not gonna we're gonna take a stand, and we're not gonna stand for this type of stuff in our community. T-Cal said, well, I'm glad you're here tonight. I'm bundled up, watching, loving. I appreciate it. Radio's Chaos says, sound like Abbott Brain has a rolling blackout. Yeah. It been rolling back for a very long time. And he need to get out of office. He need to get out of office. That's how we solve that. That's why it's so important that we, as the people, need to vote every election that comes around. I don't care what it's for. And we need to vote these people out, because as long as you don't vote, They're going to continue doing what they want to do, and they don't care about you. So, yeah, we need to vote them out. Need to get them out and tell them, hey, we're not going for it no more. We need to get them out of office, all of them. As the food said, clean the swamp. We need to clean the swamp. Starting in our back door, getting Greg Abbott out, uh, uh, Ken Paxton, and Dan Patrick. Need to get them all out. Oh, and Ted Cruz, he definitely have to go. So we definitely need to get them out. And T-Cal said the way he rolled it out made sense, but people without power without days is insane. Yeah, they don't care about it. They don't care about people. They don't know what medical condition people have, and you doing rolling blackout. This been going on way too long. This is not the first time. It's probably the first time it made national news about it because the temperature is so low. Woke up this morning 1 degrees outside, and they talking about rolling blackout, where people have been without power since last night. 1 degrees outside in Texas, and they're talking about doing rolling blackout. You're telling me you don't have nothing in plan, nothing planned to having a plan to be able to keep our grids going, keeping the electricity on? After all these years of all the rolling blackout, at what point are you going to make a plan? Enough is enough. We need to vote them out. Get somebody in there that's going to be for the people. Now he complained because I'm quite sure the hockey league probably called this office this morning complaining about the rolling blackout because they had to cancel the game. So now he get on the news and talking about this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable that you in office and unable to run a state the way it should be without looking for your own best interests. You're not just for you and your people. You for every person in Texas. And you can't do that right. That's why we need to change our leaders. We need to change our lead. I think last time when people was doing a hurricane and people started charging $5 or $6 per gallon for gas while they trying to escape the hurricane, and only a handful of people was charged. Out of all those stations, only a handful were charged. All these hotels need to be charged. We're in a pandemic, and it's a struggle for some people already because some people haven't worked since the pandemic started. But you want to say it's a problem now. At first, you was all on board. Radio ads are people using generator. Some people can't afford generators. The ones that can afford it, yes, they are using generators. Everybody cannot afford it. And it's and everybody don't know the proper way of using a generator, because I seen a story earlier today where a family, I forgot where it was, had a generator running in the house. You don't run your generator in the house. And this family ended up dying due to carbon monoxide. So everybody don't know how to run a generator. And unfortunately, depends on where you had the generator located. Of course, it need to be outside of the house, and depends on your community. You may have one going, but it may cut off in the middle of the night and grow leads and leave. So I'm just saying, everybody cannot afford it. I wish they could, because this is crazy the way that Texas is. I'm embarrassed for Texas. I'm very embarrassed about it for the simple fact we have some dumb, allegedly dumb leaders here that don't care about nobody but people that support them and about money. That's why Greg Abbott came out today. Just the other day, he was all happy-go-lucky about the rolling blackout. Every summer, he come on the news, do a press conference. Well, it's going to be some hot days, and we're going to have to do rolling blackout. You was all okay with that. But now, when it started affecting the hockey game, and you probably got a phone call, and now you're upset. Um, So yeah, that's terrible that this happening. Welcome to the show, Julie P. Duncan, listening on Facebook. T. Cal said, I remember that during Harvey. Again, shameful. Yes, we need to hold these companies that are raising these prices up for the Roach motels and in the middle of a pandemic just to make a buck. You want to charge 500 to $900 for one night. One night. We need to get them out of our community. That's all to it. Julie Duncan said the average person wouldn't think to have it because it's something we uh, haven't had to have. We don't experience snowstorm or hurricanes here like other states who have disaster annually. You're right. In Dallas, we don't experience those. Not like this. They talking about it been, I forgot how many years, over 30 years since we had a snowstorm like this. And but every year during the summertime, they do these rolling blackout because uh the last couple of summer been kind of mild, but when our summers, we may go almost 2 months with 100-degree days. And it's really crazy how we having to deal with this every year. Now Greg Abbott talking about we shouldn't have to do that. It's unacceptable. But all these years have been going on every summer, and the rolling blackouts going on. Now it's unacceptable. You got to follow the money. It affected the hockey game 45 minutes before the puck dropped. Now he's not happy about it. But every year during the summer, it happened. I'm just saying, got to follow the money. He upset because he probably got that phone call saying, hey, we can't deal with this. Radio said, ironic to how Abbott belonged to the Republican who say climate change is fake. Exactly. Welcome, Angela Smith, watching on Facebook. Welcome to the show. You can actually live chat with us in the chat room. And also, if you are being affected by outage, uh, call in. Let us know your experience. You can call in 972-591-3665, 972-591-3665. And please, I get a lot of spam calls, so do not block your number. Um, Julie P. Duncan says, speaking to the generator inquiry. Yes, I knew exactly what you was talking about. I definitely knew it. But this is it's just crazy. Now he's upset about it. Just like he didn't he signed that executive order, but when one of his supporters went against it, he decided to change it because little Becky had to go to jail. Only thing she had to do was apologize. I'm just saying. But definitely let us know how you feel about these rolling blackouts. I feel like it's embarrassing to our state. We have some weak leaders and they need to go. That's the way I feel about it. I say it all the time. Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, and Ken um, Gangster Paxton need to go. Well, excuse me. Um, so that's what's on my mind today, because when I talk to different people and they're talking about, man, my lights just came back on. I have a 1 year old baby, and we have about an hour to get everything taken care of because our lights come on for an hour, it goes back off for 7 or 8 hours. How that make sense? It don't make sense at all. In 1 degree weather, you expect somebody to be able to stay in their home in 1 degrees, or they having to go to their car and run a car all night. Now, there was heard on the radio today, a lot of stations are out of gas. So how are they going to be able to stay in their cars and run a car if they can't even get no gas? Something need to change. I think our leadership need to change. I've been saying that for a while. Our leadership need to change. That's why it's so important that we need to get out and vote them out. Send a message to them, tell them, look, we're tired. We're tired of dealing with stuff like this. And to what you said, radio, that's the problem with most of the Republican Party. I'm not going to say all of them. They get in those conspiracy theory talking about climate change is fake. Same thing Trump did. Everything Trump did, Greg Abbott followed. Even if he knew it was wrong, he still followed Trump, which is crazy. How you going to follow a food and think it's the right thing to do? That's because they was trying to get a seat at the table. That's the only reason why they followed him. They wanted a seat at the table. That's the reason why Ken Paxton kept filing those lawsuits, trying to get all those other um, uh, people to follow in, the other 18 states to follow in on that lawsuit, because he was trying to get a pardon from Trump. And he needed to be brought up on his charges. He need to go to court. He need to be found guilty for the fraud charges that came up 5 years ago and the ones that came up last year, abuse his power in office. When he signed that order last year saying that he was going to put all foreclosure on hold, that wasn't for the people. That was for him to help his homeboy out that was getting ready to lose all of his property due to foreclosure. So he definitely need to go. We don't need gangster leaders like that. We need to get him out of office. Um, so we don't know what's going to happen tonight. And they're expecting at least 5 inches tonight of snow and freezing rain. Snow and freezing rain. And I had to go out the last couple of days. And the sad part about it, I hear on the news this morning, all the freeways in Dallas, they had at least one lane cleared. One lane on all the freeways in Dallas. Each freeway had at least one lane cleared. Now, of course, they saying they working on getting the other ones, but I'm like, really? Dallas is not prepared for this type of weather. Texas is not prepared for it because we don't see this type of weather that often. And at some point, we got to say, you know what? We need to come up with a different plan and do something different. I think it starts with leadership. Get rid of leadership because that's not important to them. See, they have access to stuff. They don't have to worry about getting out in it and doing this, doing that. Um, they don't have to worry about that. But that's my opinion about the Texas rollout. It's a shame that we having to deal with this. Uh, I thank God I still have lights, but it could go out at any time. Um, oh, okay, hold on. Let me read this book. Louisiana has experienced the blackout as well, so this would possibly be the beginning of that fixed trend. I won't be surprised if this doesn't start happening across the country. We haven't seen the worst of it, so people need to think forward. Hold on. That's it's a little bit too much to put on the stream. Uh, People need to look forward and prepare for the worst. Think about what to do. Um, I need to reserve for 2 weeks, 30, 90 days if there's a disaster. That's on candles, non-perishable food item, where would you store waste, etc. Think ahead. I agree with you. We need to make plans ahead. We are in survival mode. We've been in survival mode since the pandemic because one thing about this pandemic, it had taught a lot of people how to budget. It taught a lot of people to be mindful of what they have and how blessed they are. So, yes, we definitely need to prepare ahead for worst case scenario. And when we have poor excuse of leaders that changes their mind thought every second, as soon as somebody approach them and say, "Hey, I'm losing money because of this." Or this or that or whatever. You want to change just because somebody who's supporting you don't agree with you. That's telling you they're not for us. So we um uh definitely need to make a difference in that. Radio said look like 2021 hasn't started out that great. No, it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. And uh, but we can make it better. We can make it better. It's going to take a little time, but what we have to do as people, we have to get it set in our mind. I don't care what's going on. Every election, I'm going to get out and vote. Now, some people say the local election not that important. That's where our laws are made. And then on top of that, we have to vote. You got to think about it. If they're trying to keep you from voting, it must be important. If it wasn't important, they wouldn't care if you voted or not. All election is important for whatever we're voting on. It could be a bond they trying to get passed. Um, and that's another thing we got to look at. These tollways in Texas that we do not own. Why are we our tax dollar paying for these roads and then we turn around have to pay to use these roads? And it's not like what it used to be back in the days. I know I-30 was a toll road back in the days, but we own that road. And once that road paid for itself, they removed the tolls. Now we having tolls coming back on I-30 that we don't even own, just like many other freeways here. We need to get out and vote to prevent these things from happening. One vote not going to do it. It's going to take all of us to do it. Now, unless you one of those people that don't care about paying the tolls. Well, I'm not rich yet, but I'm not rich, so I care about paying them because if you ever go up to Texas Express over off of 635, that the prices of those tolls change depend on the traffic during that time. If it's a lot of traffic on the main highway, you may pay $5 or $6 for that toll. And sometimes you could get on these tolls and you're in traffic, which is terrible. You're paying for a toll, but you're sitting in traffic on the toll, and they'll raise the price up on you. So yeah, voting is very important. We can prevent things like that because our tax dollars shouldn't have to pay for them if we're not gonna reap the benefits of it. And sitting in traffic on the tolls is not reaping no benefits. Um, so as for these blackout, I'm not happy with them at all. I'm not. Um, yes, we a lot of our highways are tolls. Not all of them, but a lot of them are becoming tolls, and some of these tolls are very expensive. Um, I think over in Arlington they started doing 360 toll, which is very expensive. It runs from Arlington to Mansfield, and it's supposed to get you there quicker, but you're gonna pay for it. In Dallas, you have one from it's several tolls in Dallas, Dallas North Tollway. Then you have 10635, and then you have one out at Rockwall that take you over to Plano. So they're pretty expensive. You have one off of 183 to run you from HEB Hirsch Euless Bedford area and run you all the way to Fort Worth. And that toll can be very expensive. So yeah. And the sad part, we don't even own them. A lot of them is owned by people in other countries. So where are we getting the benefits? But they use our tax dollars to pay for them. Sound like to me somebody got their hands in the cookie jar. I'm just saying. I say the same thing about casinos. Been trying to get casinos here, but instead they allow Texas to take their money from Texas to either Oklahoma or to Louisiana to go to the casino. Why we couldn't have it? Money already going out the state. Why not keep it in state? Like I said, it sound like somebody had a hand in the cookie jar. So um yeah, it's pitiful that we have to pay for tolls that we don't own and our tax dollars are paying for them. Uh Radio said they tried to put tolls here in Vancouver, but it got shot down. I'm sure they'll keep trying. Yeah, you pay the right person off. You pay that right person off, they'll get them. They will get them. It should get shot down every time. Imagine if we was paying if we own the tolls. Yeah, it's putting people to work. I'm okay with that. But if we own the toll, we can still put the people to work and keep the money in house. I know the one down in Austin, at one point, they was about to file bankruptcy because nobody was using that toll. So it's a shame how Texas have a lot of tolls. Down in Houston, they have tolls. It's a shame how we have all these tolls and most of them we do not own. I can speak about Dallas because I see them all the time. And sometimes you pay that toll money, you sitting in traffic just like you would on a regular highway, which is unnecessary, a waste of money. Um, but speaking of the rolling blackout, someone actually sent me a thing from they put it on Facebook that hold on. Well, it looked like a couple of cities have done it. Dallas is one. If you need a warm or shelter, you could go to K. Bailey Hutchin Convention Center. Um, they could go there, and I thought they was using that for the homeless community, but according to I hate them. Um, uh, I don't know why this particular paper here locally want to charge just to read their stuff online. But K. Bailey Hutchinson Center is one place, and um, you can actually get shelter to get warm or shelter. And also, Grand Prairie opened up a warming station. Um, and since the power outage have gone on, you can actually go to, if you're in the city of Grand Prairie, you can actually go to the Ruth Jackson Center at 3113 South Carrier Parkway. It's open 24/7 until the weather improve, according to the city. Mask and social distance are required inside the site. Um, as of Tuesday morning, 53 residents have visited the station that opened last night. Uh, if the facility reaches capacity, visit will be limited to 2 hours. Um, so they only have a certain amount of space. But if you are in the city of Grand Prairie, you can definitely go there. Um, trying to see, but K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, you can also go there to try to get warm if you need to. And it's just sad that we're having to go through this. But then it brought up another question. Now, I know I've heard um, several elected officials talking about clean air and clean energy, and here it is. They talk about it, then first thing they say, no, we can't do this. They knock it down. If this is going to prevent rolling blackouts, why not? We have to do something different than what we've been doing. And I think you're putting a lot of people at risk, because when y'all doing the rolling blackout, you don't know if somebody have a medical condition where they need the electricity to stay alive. And apparently you don't care. It's not like you going to every door and talking about, hey, anybody here with a medical condition that need your electricity? You don't care. You just cut them off. Just cut them off, which is sad. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get off of that for a little bit. But if I want to know if y'all know of a place that is accepting people to get warm or have shelter for the ones that don't have lights, definitely let us know for we can put it out there for people can actually try to get some help, because we're in some trying times. It's rough out here right now. Bad enough the pandemic and these same leaders refuse to help American people with our own tax dollars. That's why we need a change. Um, so it came out today uh, that the leading House Democrat sues Donald Trump under a post-Civil War law for conspiracy theory, and it's this is going to be interesting because I'm for not conspiracy theory, but conspiracy to incite U.S. riot capital. They actually suing uh, Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani being accused of conspiring with the far right group Proud Boys and Oath Keepers to incite the January 6th insurrection, and a civil lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court by the Democrat chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Um, the suit cited a post-Civil War law designed to combat violence and intimidation by the Ku Klux Klan. The lawsuit filed by Mississippi Democratic Republican Benny Thompson in his personal capacity is the first civil action filed against the former president related to the attack at the U.S. Capitol, and comes days after the Senate acquitted Trump in his impeachment trial. If it proceed, it would mean the former president and others would be subject to discovery and disposition, potentially exposing detail and evidence that were released during the Senate impeachment trial. So basically, they finna get this man one way or another. And for those fools that voted to not impeach him, don't forget when they re-election come up, we need to vote them out. You instead choose to you instead saying it's okay that this guy did this terrorist act on January 6th, allegedly incited. No, he incited it because he gave that speech telling them we're gonna march down there and demand they change it and all of this. And at this point, yeah, he incited. He didn't participate, but he used the words to hype these folks up. And I still feel like each one of them should be still behind jail. You don't allow someone to attack America and stay free. You don't allow them to go to Mexico on a vacation. To leave the country after doing a terrorist act against America. You just don't do that. It don't make sense. I won't understand that. Because if I was part of it, I'll still be in jail. They probably say bail denied. But once again, they so-called patriot, back to blue. But blue didn't matter that day. It didn't matter at all. They didn't care about that. They just knew it was their rights. It's not your rights to go there and attack America. But at the same time, it was each one of those officer right to defend Capitol Hill by any means necessary. And I'm glad they were strong enough not to do it the way I would have done it. I'm just saying, because if I'm supposed to protect this building by any means necessary, and you got folks breaking in, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Radio said, I wonder if we would ever get to see Trump testify under oath. This guy wasn't looking for sidestepping any accountability for his action. Well, I'm gonna say this to New York district attorney. We seen the videos where you saying you have enough evidence. It's time to step up. It's time to step up and hold this man accountable for those charges. Now, I was thinking they was waiting until after this impeachment trial. At this point, they need to step up, hold this man accountable. And to be honest with you, I feel like we all should be filing a lawsuit because we had to witness our country get attacked by other Americans that was incited by our so-called president. He had the title, but he didn't act like it. So I feel like we all should file a lawsuit and get him out. Let them charge this man having to witness this. And each one of them that participated, I don't care if they didn't break the doors down. You was there, you guilty. You are guilty. You might well should have broke it down. You are guilty. So yes, you should be charged for it. You should definitely get charged. And you shouldn't have no bail. You shouldn't have bail at all. A reality show celebrity brought American democracy to the brink. You said it. You're right. Trump don't care about none of us. He don't. Then he gonna say it's a witch hunt. Man, you know what you did. I would love to see him having to testify. Now, during the impeachment trial, I want to know, at one point they said they was gonna have witness. And that's another thing. Now they said it was gonna be witness, but then all of a sudden the Democrat said, you know what? We agreed not to have them. Why? If you have witness, why not? Why is DC not filing charges against Trump for inciting this riot, this terrorist attack? Why they not stepping up? We need to hold this man accountable. It don't make no sense. We know what all he did. We know what he was saying. We know what he was trying to do, and he got exactly what he wanted. So let's give him exactly what he didn't want. Hold him accountable for his action. That's how you do it. Because if not, you're going to have somebody else come behind this fool and try to do the same thing. Like Marjorie. Yeah. That's why she talking about all this conspiracy stuff. She going to try to do the same thing. We need to hold them accountable. Make an example out of them. Let them know that we're not standing for this. Send his ass to jail. That's how you do that. Put him in jail where he's supposed to be. The same person that talked about, called the peaceful protest thugs, talking about if they loot, we shoot. But here it is, they broke into Capitol Hill. You telling them you love them. Please go home. We love you. Man, get the hell up out of here. Talking about we love you. No, you just committed a terrorist act. Get them out of there. How you gonna love thugs that's breaking down our doors, talking about killing the vice president? And Pence, hey, I understand you trying to be loyal to him, but man, this man almost set you up to get killed. You need to stand up. Just like each one of those senators, when they showed the videos how close the folks were to them, you should be pissed off and say, you know what? I'm tired. We're not going to let this fool get away with this. Impeach him. But see, that's the good boy system, though. That's what that is, the good boy system. Because those same ones that talking about they're not going to impeach him, like Mitch McConnell. I denounced Trump after you voted against him. You could have denounced him by voting to impeach him and holding this man accountable, but you choose not to do that. But then you want to say you denounced Trump. Man, get up out of here with that mess. Radio said the Democrats said they could have brought 100s witness, but it wouldn't have changed the mind of the Republican Senate. That's why we need to take note of everyone that voted not to impeach him, and let's send a message to them and get them out of office. Vote them out. When their re-election come up, vote them out. Vote them out. Let them know we're not going to stand for it. And not only that, if you didn't get a chance to vote in the November election, go ahead and get registered to vote now. Get prepared for it. When the local election come up, you can vote for them. We need to vote them out. That's all to it. We need to vote them out. So, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I would have preferred y'all had it. If you didn't have 100 of them, at least have a couple of them. Let the witness say exactly what they knew about Trump. Because I felt like he was part of the planning of this. So they should have said something about it. They should have allowed witness to come. And I'm not saying let them to come to cut them a deal. No, they still need to be held accountable for their action. But I feel like the guy with the bullhorn, hey, you was preparing to testify against him. Why you won't testify now? Let your story be told with what you know about it. Since you prepared to testify, let your attorney hold a press conference and you tell your side. But I'm sure you won't do that because you want to cut a deal. All these folks talking about, well, Trump told us to come there. Well, you the fool to listen to him. You are the fool to listen to another fool, to a bigger fool. No way you can let someone convince you to do something that you know that is wrong. You know the difference between right and wrong. You know the difference, but you choose not to believe it. All because you was brainwashed with this conspiracy theory, which is sad. Radio said the sooner people realize the GOP are an political party, now the better they will be equipped to push back against them. Waiting for the Republican to do the right thing is fruitless. Hey, I'm just saying, it's not good. Definitely not good. People need to start thinking for themselves and start to pay attention to what a person say and do. There's no reason for this to ever have taken place. Um, there's no reason for it. But people don't realize, you know what, um, you can control what happened. You can control it, but you choose not to because you have a reality TV star that is known for saying that you are fired, saying that you are fired. That's where he made his name at in reality TV. He cannot separate reality TV show to real life decision. This man got in the White House, never allegedly never read anything that came across his desk. People told him what was said, what was in there. He don't know. As far as I'm concerned, he might have been signing he the dumbest ass in the world. He don't know. He didn't read it. But at the same time, that's who y'all voted for. That's who y'all wanted to be your leader. But that's that's just terrible. Now, all you people that paid attention to him, your life have changed forever. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people lost their family. Some people have lost their business for following this fool. And just because the storm is sweeping through the cities, we don't need to let this go. They need to continue to arrest these folks. You need to turn yourself in, make it easy on yourself. That's what needs to happen. You need to be held accountable. Trump needs to be held accountable. Rudy Giuliani need to be held accountable because he gave the speech too, knowing this fool is wrong. Then when Trump told Giuliani he wasn't finna pay him for his time, now Giuliani want to be a witness. Really? You were kissing his tail before then, but now you don't want no parts of him. Yeah, I think we all should demand charges need to be filed against Trump. I feel like DC have every right to file charges against him, and we should demand that. Yeah, they trying to sue him. What is someone gonna do? We need to file charges. Lock this man up. That's what he told us during his first campaign. We're gonna lock up Hillary. I'm sure Hillary's sitting back with a nice drink of choice and laughing at him. I thought, no, I'm not gonna say that. She probably wearing a shirt talking about lock him up. He incited people to storm our capital. So yeah, Trump need to go to jail. He need to be held accountable for his action. He definitely need to do that. Radio said Trump couldn't even handle getting fired. He never will. Mary Trump tried to tell us her uncle have some mental issues, allegedly have mental issues. because he messed his own brother out of the daddy money. That tell you the greed that Trump have. If he can't make money off of it, he don't care. He don't care. But you also got to remember, he's getting ready to have to pay $1 billion to China Bank for loans he taken out for the refinancing of one of for some of his hotel. Yeah, he finna have $1 billion due within the next year or two to China Bank. Trump need to go. He need to go to jail. He need to be held accountable for his action. That's what needs to happen because Trump, he don't care about us. I'm glad he's out of office. Radio and I both said we didn't think he would be impeached. It would have been nice to see it. I was hoping we was wrong. I'm not gonna even lie. I was hoping we was wrong. That just tell you what type of weak leaders we have. And let the truth be told, most of them probably did not vote to impeach him because they feel he may run again in 2024. And thinking he will have the opportunity to be president again. I hope he's in jail, in prison. Hopefully, he learned how to braid hair, because Big Bubba gonna have him doing some cornrows. It's time for people to start holding people accountable for their actions. What Trump had done the last 4 years is embarrassing to America. They have put us at risk with this domestic terrorist. They put us at risk because now other people are going to feel like we weak. They could do it too. Look like why I'm talking about it, because we know Benny Thompson filed the lawsuit. Um, the Democrat had filed the lawsuit against accused Trump of inciting deadly Capitol riot. NAACP sues Trump and Giuliani over election fight in January the 6th riot. So suing him, they're not holding him accountable. This man put us all at risk. Um, put us all at risk. And it's pitiful. It's definitely pitiful how this man feel like he could get away with whatever he want to. This also the same person said he can shoot a person in the middle of New York street and nothing will be said or done. That's the type of leader you want? That sounds like a dictator to me. No, we don't need leaders like that. Um, Radio said people like Cruz and his Republican colleagues aren't from the streets. They don't realize how they are playing with fire right now with the line and supporting conspiracy theories. If Cruz want to call in, want to come on the show, I would love to have him on the show. I would love to have him. I would love to have any of Trump's supporters on the show. That's why I say this show is for everybody. Long as you are respectful and don't come with conspiracy theory, I have no problem with you coming on the show. Let's have an open conversation about this because here it is. A lot of them feel like it's nothing. I read the comments you put on YouTube. I read the comments you wrote about Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, by the way, radio, you asked the question the other day. How much did that police chief and the other people in that small town, Armstrong Hour, that was arrested for embezzlement? Someone left a comment said 160,000. That's how much money they got, 160,000. And they said they know this because they live there. $160,000. A small town like that, 160,000 could bankrupt them. So I know that kind of changed the story a little bit. I just thought about it when I said the comment that someone left. So that's terrible. Um, so here's the story to say here are the criminal investigation and lawsuit looming over Trump after impeachment. Of course, we know New York. Um, say he faced more fallout from the unrest, including a lawsuit from a congressman Tuesday. But his biggest legal problem might be the one that go much further back, and one of what is suspected to be many lawsuits over the deadly riot. Democrat U.S. Representative Benny Thompson accused Trump on Tuesday of conspiring with far-right extremist group that were involved in storming the Capitol. Trump, who's made a fiery speech to supporter prior to the riot, could also be hit with criminal charges through the courts. Um, Wary of infringing free speech, have set a high bar for prosecutor trying to mount federal incitement cases, but riot related consequences are the only thing Trump has to worry about. With his historic second Senate trial behind him, here's a look at legal road ahead of Trump. Criminal investigation. Welcome to the show, Miss Risky. Miss Risky is in the house. Y'all can join her on Thursday night. She be on the show with me on Thursday night. I see you got the hair fried down and laid to the side. Welcome to the show tonight. But uh, criminal investigation. Atlanta prosecutor opened a criminal investigation into whether Trump attempted to overturn his election laws in Georgia, including a January 2nd phone call in which he urged the state secretary of state, Brad Wood, to find enough votes to reverse Biden victory. That's one of them. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Risky. I didn't even see you coming. Said that's a wig. Hey, it looked good. It looked good. Um, but that's one charge. Then uh, Carl Racine, the Attorney General for Washington, D.C., has said district prosecutor could charge Trump under local law that criminalized statement that motivated people to violence. So Washington's looking into it. They're looking into charging him, which they should. Said it's a but the charge would be a low level misdemeanor with a maximum sentence of 6 months in jail. Yeah, lock him up. Lock him up. Do not let him get out on bail. Lock him up. That could be a start of it. Lock him up. A federal prosecutor in Washington, meanwhile, have charged some 200 Trump supporters with crimes related to the riot, including more serious conspiracy charges. Many of the people charged said they acted in Trump's name, but the bar is very high to charge Trump with any crime related to the riot. Um, there has been no indication that Trump would be charged in the riot through, though prosecutors have said they are looking at all angles. I'm like, hey, talk with those witnesses. If the guy was willing to testify, he'd know more than what we think he'd know. And that's why we need to hold Trump accountable. Start with the small charges, let him build up. But New York need to step up because they've been, she did all type of interviews saying they're going to charge him. So they saying that Trump no longer is protected from federal prosecutor. He did as he did when he was president, although federal prosecutor in New York, who had been looking into the hush money payment, have essentially abandoned that probe. The same U.S. Attorney Office in Manhattan also appears to have moved on from its investigation of Trump inaugural committee. That inquiry examined the committee's spending, including whether foreigner illegal contributed to inauguration event. A major donor to the inauguration, Ahmad Zuber, pled guilty to charges of tax evasion, campaign finance violation, and failure to register as a foreign agent. He's scheduled to be sentenced Thursday in LA. Civil investigation. New York City Attorney General Letitia James' civil investigation focused on some of the same issues as vast criminal probe, including possible property value manipulation and tax write-off Trump company. The Trump organization claimed on millions of dollars in consulting fees it paid, including money that went to Trump's daughter Ivanka. Lock her ass up too. James also issued subpoena to local government in November 2019 for records pertaining to Trump estate north of Manhattan, Seven Springs. After court provide Congress with Trump financial statement that listed the 213-acre property was worth 291 million in 2012, far higher than a 56.5 million value that Trump commission appraised placed on it in 2015. So Trump, they just need to hold this man accountable, charge him with the charges, let him see his day in court, and go from there. Radio said, unfortunately, President Cheeto would drag out all these cases for years, and he probably gonna drag them out until the day he take his last breath. Because we must remember he's up in age, and I'm like this: if they could send Bill Cotton, Bill Cosby to jail, they need to send Trump to jail. That's the best way of doing it. So, man, I sure hate I missed y'all last night, but it was because he has nothing better to do. You're right. I hate I missed y'all last night, but wasn't sure how this was gonna work with the rolling blackout. Miss Risky, are you still having rolling blackout in your neighborhood, or have your lights been on? I know you said they went out a couple of times Sunday. Are they still on, or are they still going off? Um, so I'm glad that Um, we're back tonight. We back. Uh, my days are kind of off because I'm used to going Sunday through Thursday, and uh, I didn't get a chance to do it. Okay, well that's good. That's good. They're not going off. Oh, excuse me. I ate dinner tonight before I came, before I got on the prayer call. So that itis is starting to kick in. So yeah, you are. I've been in your neck of the woods for the last 2 days. Had to play taxi driver. That's all I'm gonna say. Had to play taxi driver, and which is okay. I prefer to do that instead of line um, my wife going out driving herself, and I can do it for her, and I feel much comfortable. Um, so that's a good thing. Um, but tonight we have talked about the rolling blackout in Texas. Julie P. Duncan have actually said that uh, they have started doing it in Louisiana also. And with the rolling blackouts is very danger. A lot of danger in it for the simple fact they don't know if people need electricity to live, and they don't care. Only reason why Greg Abbott spoke out today because they had to cancel a hockey game 45 minutes before the game. They had to cancel it. Now the thing is, the hockey league should have canceled the game, but they wasn't concerned about the blackouts that everybody is experiencing here in Texas. They should have made the call to cancel it. But Greg Abbott speaking out about um, how disappointing it is. Uh, they have to come up with new ways of doing things. We experience this every summer. Every summer we're experiencing this, but now because they had a blockade, had to stop a hockey game, had to cancel it. Now you want to speak out and say we have to come up with new plans. This is wrong. We shouldn't have to go through this. Like I said, Greg Abbott not for us. It's all about the dollar bill, y'all. We gotta wake up and see that. And Greg, if you ever want to come on the show, hit me up. We'll let you come on the show. You more than welcome to come on. I don't know if you're ready for some of the questions that our followers gonna have for you, but you more than welcome to come on. Dan Patrick, you welcome to come on too. Ken, Gangster Paxton, come on now. Player, you always welcome. Even though Ted Cruz. I want to know why are you just for yourself and not for the people? Enough is enough. When your reelection come up, I'm gonna push hard to get y'all out of office. People are gonna remember this pandemic, how y'all did it. People are gonna remember how y'all doing this the rolling blackouts. We're gonna remember all of that when we go to the poll. And I will tell anybody that is looking to get into politician, this is the time. You have the opportunity of getting elected because I know I'm tired of what we've been dealing with. And I know I'm not the only one tired of it. So if you're looking at getting in politics, this is a perfect time. You have a perfect opportunity of getting voted in. Miss Risky said, I have cabin fever and have Chipotle withdrawals. Should have told me I would have dropped you some off at the porch if I known. I started to reach out to you when I was strolling by. I did blow the horn, but you didn't hear me. Yeah. Radio said, when I can't sleep, I just play a clip of Cruz talking and I pass right out. See, I'm glad I didn't read that while I was talking because that would have been a disaster. But I feel you. I feel you. They talk a good game, but their action and their words do not line up. Um, well, I definitely won't be out that way tomorrow. I've been out that way for the last 2 days, and I started to take a picture and send it to you. I said, "Nah, I was trying to focus on the road." um, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But definitely, people, it's very important to get out, get registered to vote, and let your voice be heard. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. When you go to the polls, think about this. How did they treat the pandemic when they wanted to rush and open everything up with no plans? Want to rush and put your kids in danger, sending them back to school with no plans. Think about all your loved ones you have lost in this pandemic. Think about when our numbers is on a rise and they still opening everything up and feeling like it was fake because that's what Trump was telling them, saying it's just the flu. It's not that bad. Think about those things when you go into the poll. And let's come together and and send them out, vote them out. I'm talking about from the state house to the White House to the Capitol, all those senates and Congress that is pro-Trump. Send a message, vote them out. That would change a lot of things if we vote them out. So for the ones that it's their first time listening on the show, you don't have to be quiet. You could chat live with us in the chat room, just like Miss Risky. Um, uh, man, my mind went blank. Radio Chaos, T Cal, Julie P. Duncan, um, and many other people that is listening. You never have to be afraid not to say anything here. For this show, this is a platform for everyone. Um, Everyone is welcome. I don't care who you represent, what party you represent, as long as you are coming here and being honest and truthful, you're welcome here. We don't deal with conspiracy theory. Anything we discuss on this show, we have verified the information. We just don't go in because someone puts something in a chat and we automatic feel that it's true. We verified. And one thing we will tell you um, during the show, sometime if information come to us in the middle of a show, we try to get it verified right then and there because we don't deal with conspiracy theory. We only deal with facts. And that's all we're going to deal with. Um, Radio said, I have to miss the show tomorrow because of an appointment, but I'll see y'all. See you on Thursday. Well, hey, Radio, it's always a blessing when you come on and bless the show. I appreciate the little gift you get. Oh, yeah, everybody can't see. If you can see, it's old Trump on the toilet tweeting. That's what he did best. Yeah. So I appreciate it. I know you always here in spirit, and uh, I see what you're saying. Risky. I have a picture to send you. That's cool. Other than that, you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt. Though we're here Sunday through Thursday. As long as we have power this week, I will be on. So you can always go and listen to replays on YouTube. Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt. Though. And you can follow us, live chat with us during the live shows, Sunday through Thursday. And other than that, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I love each and every one of you. Until tomorrow night, if the good Lord say the same. Peace.